Kia ora and welcome back to the Flexline Media coverage of the 2021 Wāhi Tapu lead card final round middle 7. Coverage brought to you by Altitude Brewing and the tournament brought to you by Generation Disc Golf. As always, I'm Morgan Harteveld and next to me Adam Rhymes. Good to be back, Adam.
Always. Yeah, excited to see how this middle 7 shapes up.
Yeah, absolutely. Some pretty good golf out there. We've got Steve and Reid pretty much chasing down Mikey Yu right now with a 4-shot deficit. Mikey's sitting at 21 under par and Steve at 17, and the other boys, Matt and Dave, a few shots behind them, but in their own battle, really, aren't they?
Yeah, we got a couple of chases from second card as well, so...
Yeah, absolutely. So these guys have got to watch out and play their hearts out, and let's see what these guys can make happen out here in the middle 7. Let's head on over to hole 8.
Okay, back to the tennis court. 57 metres, real short hole. So, equal tied for the easiest hole of this round. Coming in with 2 other holes. Almost half stroke under par.
Yeah, averaging 2.68. Good shot of Stephen Reid's sponsors there.
Got nice and low.
Yep, there's a couple of ways to play that hole really, and it's either over that middle branch or under it. That branch sort of grown in the last couple of years. We spoke about getting rid of it and thought, you know what, it's just changing the hole ever so slightly every year. Let's leave it in there and see how it plays for this year and in years to come.
Yeah, it caused me all kinds of trouble this weekend.
It's one of those ones, if you think a little bit too much about it, you're most likely going to hit it, and that's with almost every shot in disc golf. But yeah, just get it past that on the right line and you should be okay.
That's the one, but like you said, easier said than done.
Yeah, man, disc golf, simple as.
just throw it over there.
Me thinking it's super easy is probably the reason I'm actually not on this card, right? Let's see what Dave's got. He's got the tree hanging down right in his way. Anheuser putt off the tree and in. Beautiful putt.
Yeah.
He scores himself another Generation Disc Golf replay. I love it.
Using it to his advantage. It's smart play.
Yeah, love to see it. Matt back to the power stance, trying to get a look around the branches from the other side there. Coming up a little low. Maybe just Matt just getting outside of his normal stance there and just not quite getting put right onto the line that he wanted to get onto. But a good bit either way. It's not from the camera angle that you can see, but those branches hanging down on the left and right hand side of the basket really do play into this hole and make things a bit tricky if you get out of position. Not out of position though, Mikey Yu securing a birdie along with Steve and Dave, and just the lone par for Matty P will be taking up the tail of the card, moving into hole 9.
And yeah, 63 metres, plays real straight through the Mando hole and slightly to the right.
A few stumps to contend with out there, not just the trees. There's still about 4 or 5 stumps that are in the way, and I mean, the great shot on this hole is probably the skip shot, and you know, those come into contention. As you'll notice, there are a new bit of sign wear right by the tee box, and that is the Art of Discs CTP hole for round 3. Kyle Martin there putting up a couple of really sweet discs for our competitors to win if they bought into the CTP competition.
Yeah, a couple of these guys struggling with that left-hand guardian, just pulling it a little too wide.
Dave's got a bit of a flare skip there. It's going to be interesting to see where his lie is. If he's up in the tree pile there, he's going to have another one of those awkward lies. Matty P just going under the altitude banner, but a great shot and stop right on those logs next to the basket. That's fantastic. He will be happy with that.
Great shot of Mikey there.
You'll see along the bottom of the screen there the Altitude Brewing logo coming up there. This year Altitude Brewing had Adam and I up into the brewery for a day of brewing, and we brought down 5 kegs of the finest Wāhi Tapu Hazy IPA you've ever put your lips around.
Got some good memories from that beer.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic drop, and everyone enjoyed that. So thank you very much to Altitude for coming on board and helping us brew that beer for everyone to enjoy. Mikey coming up a wee bit short on his putt, and he's not happy about it. For the bogue as well.
Yeah, he went a little long on that up
There
shot.
we go, Dave with a super awkward putt. That's ugly. That must not be comfortable.
think that's the first time I've seen someone sat down.
Yeah. I don't even know if he was sat down or if his leg was all the way down there to where his mini was.
Yeah.
You know, that was his stance. Dave's still trying to clamber his way out of there while Steve makes a great putt there for his par.
Good to see Chris up there with Dave. Getting all the angles.
Committed.
Yeah.
There's a wee look at the CTP. Pretty close there. Pretty close.
Good on you, Smokey.
Alright, moving on to our next mandatory hole.
Yeah, so mandatory on the right hand side, 59 metres, shoot the gap, miss the little V tree, miss the creek, and
Bob's your uncle.
park yourself up next to the basket. Again, easier said than done. It's really easy line to miss, but
Well, and the conditions are much more favourable than they were during yesterday's round. This is the top card, and I'd love to be able to see these guys really put them down there. It's really just a straight putter to finish. There we go, Steve, not even having to put too much on it, and he's got down there, cleared the creek, and he's come up at probably about 6 to 6.5 metres there. That's a great wee drive from Steve. Let's see what Dave Keene can pull off for us.
trying to follow Steve.
Yeah.
Got back in bounds.
He's just crept back in bounds there. He unfortunately caught a tree on the left-hand side there, which fired him out towards the OB road.
Be interesting to see what angle he's got from there.
One thing to take note of is right off the tee, there's a row of flags, which has been put in place this year due to the fact that all those trees were taken out, and it's a safety concern for the tee box for the next hole, because there was a forehand line out the back door there, which was, well, to be fair, once the trees were gone, much, much easier. So we decided to keep the line of the hole in play, put those Mando flags in there, and force you to play all the way down there through the intended gap. That's a great little flex forehand from Dave.
Got a good little kick there, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Getting more and more impressed with the stances that Matt keeps producing for us.
Oh, a little bit high from Steve.
Steve just not quite connecting on that one. He definitely wanted that for that big birdie opportunity. Yep, he would have got one more shot on Mikey there.
Thanks, Team Philo.
Mikey walking away, knowing he got away with a stroke there as well. You can see it from the way he's striding away.
Yeah, unfortunate for Steve, but like I said, when the pressure's on.
Yep, wasn't a give me putt by any stretch, but needed it.
Yeah, definitely needed it.
Yep, it's time to capitalise. Epic adventures, tall stories, great beers.
Also a couple of great shirts, if you didn't see those.
Yep, couple of great party shirts there.
Yeah.
Hole 11.
66 metres, avoid the low ceiling straight down the middle, the players to the right, and try and hit the gap, miss the tree long.
Yep, just put something maybe about 2 or 3 metres off the ground, pretty much like Matty's just done right then, and just let it go, straight disc that's just got a wee bit of finish on it.
So, see Steve going with a forehand.
Right.
Definitely along the line, is he? Yep.
Not 100% sure what he threw there, possibly his pig. Maybe we'll get a slightly closer look at it with this Generation Disc Golf replay. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I believe that's his pig, and that's a very smart choice of disc for that hole. Very reliable, and you know what a pig is going to do every single time. Nice overstable, not quite a meat hook, but a nice overstable disc with a reliable finish.
Now you finally get to use that disc.
It's reliably found him under the basket.
So he's going to left with a slam dunk right there.
Mikey trying to catch a bit better angle. Maybe he didn't quite like the angle off the front of the tee there. He's played his shot from right behind the tee box, which is definitely within his rights to do. It's got 3 metres off the back of the tee box. Dave not off the front of the tee box. Dave not wanting anything to do with that putt, just drops it right under the basket, trying to maintain some points here and not give anything up. which at this point of the competition can be a very, very smart thing to do. But Matty P with a beautiful putt there to put him up to 13 under par. Yep.
Solid putt from Mikey.
Mikey U there. Beautiful putt from the picnic table. There's the Small Planet Disc Sports logo. Oh, and Small Planet Disc Sports sponsored team member Mikey U has just gone and defrauded or defaced the banner there. But he'll fix it right up and they'll be moving along on to hole 12. 43 metres.
43 metre, yep, downhill. Try and sneak around the trees.
How do you feel about the super spike hyzer play on this hole? What do you think the benefits are to that, or the disadvantages?
That always used to be my play, but you find yourself going along more often than not, catching the tops of those trees, and you can get some funny falls from that. Going for the jump putt.
That's an interesting move. That's sort of a Ben Wheel, like Robbie Tui Tufu play right there. The old jump putt off the tee. I
saw it before on one of my rounds, and I'm forgetting the name of the guy that did it, but it landed next to the basket. It was next to that left-hand tree we can see there.
Yep. And there's Steve Reid with a beautiful shot off the tee, putting the pressure back onto Mikey, who's looking high to the sky for that spike hyzer option we talked about. Let's see what it can make happen with it.
Yeah, see, that's the issue. Now he's got a def putt straight at the pond.
Yes, he does. He's probably just inside circle's edge, maybe about 8-9 metres, but yeah. Needs to connect. Dave going with the low shot again as he did last round, which has worked out beautifully for him, putting himself about 3 to 3.5 metres from the basket. And Mikey with his patented straddle putt.
Yeah, I feel like if you can execute that low shot, it's kind of... You're going to get yourself a better spot, but as soon as you're more than 6 metres long...
Now, quick story, that branch that Mikey just hit, and I didn't even... Funnily enough, I didn't even see it then when he was trying to make his putt. Unfortunate miss there for Dave. When we were out pruning up the course, I looked at that branch and went, you know what? Bugger it. I'm going to leave that thing there because this hole is too easy as it is and we need some sort of other obstacle in the way. And you know who found that in the last round, don't you? Me.
Typical.
And then I proceeded to sit at the next tee pad for the next 10 minutes going on about how I should have pruned it and what was I thinking. And Mikey also going, what the hell was Morgan thinking when he was pruning up the course? Why is that branch still here? And he'll walk away with a par, again with Stephen Reid taking another birdie. Things are building here for the Southland man, aren't they?
Yeah, he's gaining a bit of momentum. It's, like you said, it's getting interesting down the stretch for these two guys.
Yeah, absolutely is. 142 metre par 4, hole 13. See what these guys have got for us.
As you've seen, a bit of danger to avoid, but players of this caliber feel like they should be. Yeah. See Matt there, just drifting along.
Matt throwing a Corvette there, and I've had a Corvette in the bag, and what I find with those discs is you really have to get on them and they will hold a very nice straight line, but if you don't get right in behind that disc and you put any sort of hyzer on them, that's what it's going to do. It's going to hyzer out really early, and that's what's happened to him. He's found himself in the trees on the left-hand side there. He's pretty far up there, so he still might be able to poke something through the basket, and maybe even potentially have a look at the basket, but we'll have to wait and see until we're up there. Mikey U with an absolutely crushing forehand, throwing his Shrike, I'm going to guess, because that's what he loves to crush discs with. He's got across the road, he's on the road, moving.
Come back.
Still rolling. Chance. No, he's landed right in the middle of the road and there's no drop zone, so he'll just be proceeding to his last inbounds. Dave with a big old grunt, which is probably a sign that he's starting to hurt and he's really having to put absolutely everything into his shots now.
Yeah, he's playing through the pain. Interesting life for Steve.
Oh, Steve's turned it over and he's landed safe though. He's going to have a putt there. That's probably circle's edge, if not slightly closer.
Yeah, a bit of a safe look up the hill.
Now, if anyone recalls from last year, Mikey shot from over there during the big gun shootout, maybe round 3 as well. My memory's slacking me right now, but Mikey had a shot from almost the same position where he parked it right under the basket, so I was hoping for the same thing from him there. There's some low-lying branches that he had to contest with, though.
Ooh, he's looking high. See a big spike riser.
Yeah, well, that tree there absolutely sticks out much further than you'd think, doesn't it? And it's actually really hard to get around it if you're anywhere to the left. And here's that look that I was talking about for Matty P. You can see the basket. All he had to do there, punch it through, and he's looking at the basket from just a couple metres away. So, lucky, but also a great shot, and he's going to hopefully collect his bonus bird. And Steve Reid from across the other side of the creek, a fantastic putt.
Yeah, good birdie from there. Good birdie, good upshot. Good conversion.
Mikey coming right down that shaved fairway.
The top band.
And there's another one. There's another one, Adam. He's given up one more stroke to Steve, who's on a triple bogey run. He's on the turkey. And Matty P, what is happening here with the boys?
Yeah, bit of trouble on this hole.
Well, they're coming down the stretch, you know. They're on 13th hole. They're right in the middle of the course here, and you know, this is when they need these shots to count to keep them right in contention. Even if these guys are quite a lot of shots behind and maybe know that they don't have a chance to quite get up to the lead, they still want to hold their places. This is the last event on the New Zealand tour, so... Oh my goodness, Mikey carding a 6 there. I forgot that he went OB, so he's given up 3 strokes in 1 hole to Steve. I need to get a quick look at the scoreboard here because that may be drawn. We're on hole 14, 73 metres. Let's get a wee look at the scoreboard on the bottom here. Yo, Stephen Reid's got him by 1 shot. Wow.
Big turnaround from, is he 4 behind coming into this?
How the tide can change with just 1 hole. Stephen putting himself right on the edge of the OB there though. No OB coming up on the digital screen there, so he looks like he's stayed in bounds and he's going to have a putt.
See what Dave's got.
He skipped out of bounds, but sorry to go over these guys. That's unbelievable scenes just unfolded right in front of us. Stephen Reid with the turkey and Mikey with the triple bogey, or the double bogey, to take him 1 shot behind Steve. I'm absolutely blown away by what I'm seeing. Fantastic golf by Stephen Reid here.
Yeah, just a couple of bad holes from Mikey. He's going to need to get his stuff together here.
That looks like his pig again, and he has absolutely parked that one up. So surely lock that one in. That's going to be a birdie to bring 1 back from that last hole, which he will definitely not be happy with. Oh, nearly taken out Chris there.
It's an interesting story. I caught up with these guys. Caught up with Chris and Gwen from just before, and they were asking about lunch. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll drop you some lunch out. I came and saw them and checked in with lead cards, see if they needed any lunch, because it's getting on in the day by this point. And actually dropped off a bit of lunch for Matt and Mikey, and see if it makes a difference.
Yeah, food or fuel, as you might want to call it, can definitely play a big part in the game, and not just for energy getting around the course, but also mental stamina. I know that as soon as I'd come back in after round 1 during that rainy day, got into some dry clothes and got myself a nice hot burger from the lodge there, I was feeling in absolute top shape and came back out, and the game had completely changed for me, at least until I got completely soaking wet a few more holes later. But, you know, the confidence can build, and we've got a battle unfolding right in front of us, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Here's Mikey making that putt back there on the tool basket, the Johnny Ferrari manufactured tool basket. Here's your leaderboard. Stephen Reid, Neg 22, and Mikey following up with Neg 21. Yes. And a few people right in tow, as you can see on the board. That's going to be it for us for the middle 7. We look forward to seeing you for the back 7 holes in just a short few moments' time.